Should you buy the Dark Ages King? Well, his stats are pretty standard for a gold pass skin. He has 100% custom animations, he has custom selection sound effects, deployment sound effects, and attacking sound effects. His sound effects do sound very clean, but compared to most other skins, his sound effects are pretty subtle, and he has 0 visual effects. And as expected from a gold pass skin, he does not spawn any custom barbarians. One thing I really like about this skin is how they have different sound effects depending on whether he's punching or whether he's slashing with his sword. I'm really glad they took the time to distinguish the sound effects between those two things. They didn't just use one generic impact sound effect for both of those actions. I do like the design of this skin, but it is a really simple design in my opinion. I usually prefer skins that have some more elaborate designs. I think it gives them more character and some more uniqueness. Two things that make a good skin are, number one, not being ugly, kind of obvious, but then number two is not being too plain. An example of a skin that I think is too plain is the Gladiator King. I don't think he's ugly, but he is very simple. An example of a skin which is not plain, but in my opinion is more on the ugly side would be the Heart Hunter Queen. So those two skins are not great, but then the Warrior Champion definitely is not ugly and she is not plain, which I think if she was plain, I wouldn't like her as much, but because she's very elaborate, I like the Warrior Champion a lot more. This skin is not ugly, but I think it is too simple. One way that they could have made this a little bit less simple is by using a mixture of chainmail and armor instead of just having all the armor look exactly the same. If you look at all the knight or prince characters from Clash Royale, they all have that mixture of the armor and the chainmail, which just gives them more of an interesting design. One other thing about this skin that they could have improved on is his personality. I don't think he has a super strong personality. I feel like skins are just way more attractive when they do have a strong personality. There's a hint of humor that he has in his selection animation where he jumps down and he's facing the wrong direction. So then because he kind of has stiff armor, he kind of waddles and turns around to face you. And there's a little bit of humor in that, but that's about as far as it goes with this skin. Most of these things that I'm talking about are pretty nitpicky, and it is really easy to point out all the negatives in a skin. I've tried to draw out all the positives that I've also seen in this skin, but for the most part, Clash of Clans really makes excellent skins. Just because I'm talking about the negatives of the skins doesn't mean they're bad skins. It's extremely rare for me to ever put a hero skin in the D tier. The fact is, this is a great design, it has some fun animations, and it has a lot of fitting sound effects. It's really not a bad skin. But if I had to give a yes or no answer in response to should you buy this skin, I would not recommend buying this skin. Gold pass value aside, I think your money or gems will be better spent on some other hero skins. My ranking for this skin is the B tier, which means it's not a bad skin, but it is kind of an average king skin. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to click that subscribe button because on this channel I talk about skins and sceneries, and if you enjoyed this one, you'll probably enjoy some of my other videos.